Dr. Rosemary Flanigan, Ph.D., is a sister of St. Joseph of Carondelet, a philosopher, a teacher, and a lifelong student, intent on discovering the world's goodness. She has received countless honors acknowledging her work in healthcare and education, pouring heart and soul into elevating the rights of patients and the role of ethics in advanced care decision-making. Sister Rosemary, as she is most often called, has positively changed the status of women of color, women in religious communities, and women at large through her invincible spirit and feisty embrace of life.
I have supported women's issues my whole life, but as an educator. Every day I entered a classroom and helped young women by teaching them philosophy to think critically, to address the big questions, and to reflect on their assumptions. We opened the first college for women in Kansas City. We were so committed to the fact that women needed education. Curricula that would advance the cause of women. And I saw a wonderful example of that just happened this past year when St. Teresa's Academy initiated STEM. Any area in which there is need, there ought to be women educated to supply that need.
Rosemary Flanigan received her undergraduate degree from the College of St. Teresa, now Avila College in Kansas City. Both her master's and PhD from St. Louis University and credits Northwestern University, University of Missouri, Kansas City, and Vassar College with postdoctoral study. But it is the opportunity to study under her guidance that has enriched many lives. In 1965, a courageous group of nuns left the safety of their surroundings and at the behest of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., traveled to Selma, Alabama to support voting rights for African Americans in what was an unprecedented action of political stance from the Catholic Church. Sister Rosemary Flanigan was one of the Selma Six.
Television was new, and the nation was shocked to see men on horseback in the uniform of state troopers, lashing into simple, nonviolent, walking, mostly black teenagers, simply because these people wanted to walk to the state capitol to protest not being able to vote. One of the sisters of St. Mary, Sister Antona Ebo, spoke up and said, "I'm here because yesterday I voted in St. Louis." I thought, wow. I never felt such cohesion with black brothers and sisters in my life as I felt that day.
Although there were hundreds of marchers, the presence of these 6 women, dressed in floor-length black dresses with veils, marked a turning point in the civil rights movement in the United States.
It was a pivotal point in U.S. history of black-white relations, and I was proud to be a part of it.
So what does a universally adored, highly applauded educator who happens to be a nun do when they retire from teaching? Dr. Rosemary Flanigan, at the age of 65, began her healthcare career when she served as Director of Ethics Committee Development and Education at the Center for Practical Bioethics.
Myra Christopher offered me a job to join the staff. I helped the center throughout the whole Midwest establish ethics committees. I have been very successful, and I take great delight in that. We learn so much from one another. And when you're an old nun and you think back, I have lived my life being supported by people who shared my values, who thought what was important was what I thought was important, who tried to act as well as they could. And I think that is such a blessing. End of story.
Sister Rosemary Flanigan has dedicated her life to increasing the worth of others. Surely thousands have been blessed by her spiritual depth, her unyielding thirst to share knowledge, and her unequivocal insistence that we treat each other justly and with abundant love and humor. For holding herself and others to the highest of ethical standards, the Starr Women's Hall of Fame is honored to welcome Dr. Rosemary Flanigan, to the class of 2017.